Many of you were a part of our strategic meeting and planning. And in that time, as I shared a vision that God put inside of me to put Black success out there, and we debated, well, what's the best way to do this? How can we not just promote Black success, but actually invest in Black success? I started thinking about some ways to monetize this. And rather than put a charge on the event, while we were on the call, there were some spontaneous donations made. Said, I'll donate to the event. Don't charge anything. Let's make this open for the people. And we were given $1,000 worth of funds to provide a grant. And that grant to pay forward to someone who was trailblazing or doing work for Black success and Black excellence. I put out on my Facebook and YouTube pages, we're looking for nominations for individuals who you think well believe or well represent Black success. And the individual who was chosen was nominated, and her name is Nicole Bell. She is a student here in a local high school. And Rob, you were talking about watching TV and seeing images of people who look like you. And you have no idea about this because I haven't told anybody who the winner was other than our winner. And Nicole's vision is to create representation for all Black people of all backgrounds to see themselves on screens. She is a young entrepreneur. She is a member of her school's media department, which is, by the way, an award-winning media department that does fabulous things all the time. And I'm so happy, Nicole, to grant you $1,000 towards your further education and the furthering of your vision to bring more Black faces to the screen. And something you said that stood out to me in your nomination submission was regardless, for the normal Black person, not the stereotypical one that we see represented so often in media, at least here in the US. So Nicole, would you share with us a little bit more of your vision and a little bit of your backstory? Because I think it'd be great for people to understand where you came from and what you want to create into the future.
All right, first off, I wanted to say thank you to Jason and just everyone who helped put the grant together. I am so appreciative. You guys don't even understand. So like you said, my name's Nicole, and when I get older, I want to do film, and I want to bring more representation for the Black community to the screens. I feel like growing up, anytime I'd watch movies and it had like Black people in it, it was always like a Black struggle film. You know, it was always like 12 Years a Slave. It was always like the Help. It was always like a Black struggle film. And then eventually it started to be like characters that were always, their core background was that like they didn't have their dad or their mom was struggling and all these things. And I always felt like that was always, although it was representation, not every Black person fits that mold. And I truly just want to bring more representation to the screen for Black people of all different walks of life, such as myself. I grew up with not an absent father, but I grew up with separated parents. So I know the struggles of not having a lot of money, but I also know the struggles of having a lot of money. I know the struggles of having a single mom, but also not having a single mom. So just from like having experiences like that, where I get to see both sides of how it can be, I wanted to bring more examples of that to the screen. And I want to just like bring spaces for everyone to be like, oh, my life is kind of like that. My life has pieces like that. And yeah, I want to bring a different type of representation than the one I'm used to seeing on my screen. And yeah, that's what I hope I can do with the tuition that was awarded to me.
Thank you, Nicole. And if I could ask a couple of follow-up questions for you. You were on and you heard Rob talk about, seeing faces that look like his on TV and how that inspired him. How does that impact you? And how does that encourage your vision for what you're doing?
That encourages my vision because I want to be able to be the creator behind people with experiences like that. When people say, oh, I saw myself in this piece of media, I want to be able to say, I helped bring that to you. Like I helped deliver that to you. And I want to be able to have a new generation of people have more examples to see themselves in.
Fantastic. And you're a senior this year,
Yes,
correct?
ma'am.
Headed off to college next year. What are the college plans right now? Have decisions been made, or are you undecided on where you're taking your talents?
I am not undecided. I have several ideas. However, I'm still waiting back for my admission letters. They're supposed to come next week, actually. But the goal is to hopefully go to a UC, such as UC Santa Barbara or UC Santa Cruz. And only because they have good field programs that are also central to LA, so I can get to LA if I need to. But my goals are to eventually, I want to start with the different aspects of film. So, like, I want to do a little bit of lighting. I want to do a little bit of sound. I want to do a little bit of like post production, just to get an overall like well-rounded background before I start directing my own works. And then hopefully I can use connections I build off in college to further my filmmaking abilities.
Fantastic. I love it. As people look to, we have quite an audience with us here today. Is there ways or spaces, places where people can follow the work that you're doing now? I know you, if I'm not mistaken, you won an award already for some submissions that you've done through your high school career. Is that correct?
Yes. So if you want to watch like more informal work I do a segment on my school news called Tiny Mics, where we just go around and film students at our school and just ask them questions. That's more like an informal, casual bit of work that I do. I just submitted a short film for my college applications and for a couple local film festivals. That is more of what I'm trying to do with my personal projects and trying to tell different types of stories. So it's a story more about my personal life and how I grew up. And you can find that on YouTube. Actually, you need to make it public, but you can find it on YouTube. It's Waffles by Nicole Bell.
Waffles, like those things that we like to eat in the morning, right?
Yes.
Awesome, Nicole. Well, thank you so much for sharing some inspiration and light. Let me ask one last question. Who inspires you in your journey towards filmmaking?
Who inspires me? Probably I have to say Marseille Martin. If you've ever heard of Marseille Martin, she is a girl who I want to say she's a year older than me, but she is a director, producer, like head of her own production company. And it's when I see like her do things, I'm like, you're my age and you're still able to like be great. And she's Black. So I don't know. I see myself in her and I want to be able to be great like her.
Thank you so much for sharing your inspiration and becoming an inspiration for many of us on stage. Find Nicole Bell on YouTube, Waffles, follow her, and let's continue to support some encouragement. So blessings, Nicole. Thank you. And I look forward to connecting with you and seeing you in person, getting to hand over the funds to you and get that into your school tuition.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it again.
You're welcome. What a blessing. When this vision first began, I wouldn't have imagined that we'd be able so early on to help another person down their road to success.